Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Karim Ghelani Show, where we talk about health, wealth, bringing in more abundance into your life, the human psyche, and improving our overall well being. So, today we're going to get into a topic that a lot of people discuss: manifestation. Before you click off, let me tell you something. If you're asking, is manifestation real? Absolutely. There's just a few things you have to tweak here and there to make your manifestations come true, and I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it. Now, first of all, remove all judgment from yourself as far as what you've been doing if your manifestations haven't been coming true, and remove all judgment from everything that you've heard about, this person saying you're not doing this right or you're not doing this right. That's why your manifestations aren't coming true. It has nothing to do with you all the time, and sometimes it has to do with your external forces as well. And most of all, it has to do with your self concept, your self awareness, and being aligned with your manifestation. Okay, so let's get started. Now, we all know about the law of attraction, right? I mean, if you're here, I'm 100% you know what the law of attraction is. It essentially states that like attracts like. What you think about, you bring about. What you believe, you receive, right? So it's simple enough. Or another method you could use for this is essentially visualizing what you really want, defining your why as to why you want that manifestation. Let's say it's money. Why do you want that money? Why do you want that $20 million, let's say? Why do you want that job or that career? Why do you want that romantic partner? Why do you want certain things? You have to be extremely specific with the universe and with yourself, most importantly, in order to achieve your manifestations by absolutely knowing what you want. Because sometimes we do things out of ego. So we say, hey, you know what? Joe down the street, he's got a Ferrari. He's got a $20 million house. Man, I want that too. Now, that's really not in congruence with what you really want. That's a comparison, right? So you have to be specific regarding what your soul really wants, what your mind really wants, what your heart really wants. So let's add something to that law of attraction. Your thoughts, your beliefs, your feelings, and ultimately your actions will lead to those manifestations, right? So let's start by visualization. One of the keys of law of attraction. Visualize what you want your life to look like, okay? Let's start with something as an example, something like, let's say you're an actor or a performer or a singer or an author, right? And you really want to make it big. Anything is possible. So it's absolutely possible. If you want it, you will get it. You just have to be in alignment with it. When you start out with visualization, the one thing that's really important is getting extremely specific, going deep within, and essentially visualizing the exact type of feelings that you'll get when you achieve that manifestation. Let's say it's you want to win an Oscar. Let's say you want to win a Grammy. Let's say you want to win a Pulitzer. Imagine yourself in the audience as one of the nominees. All right. Listen to the crowd. Visualize the actual steps people are taking. This is all in your mind right now, but it's going to become a reality because you're learning how to visualize in a different manner. That's using all of your senses now. Use your auditory senses, use your mental senses, your visual optic senses, and most of all, use your heart. How is that going to make you feel when you get up on that stage and accept that Oscar, accept that Grammy, accept that Pulitzer Prize? Hear the steps of you walking up that stage, shaking that hand, feel that hand. So that's one of the keys of visualization. Now let's get back to the concept of why do you want what you want? Define that and be very specific. I want this because I want my overall well-being to improve. I want to be able to provide for my family. I want to live a more joyful and more meaningful life. And I want to achieve my goals not just from an ego perspective. It's because I want to achieve my goals to leave a legacy, to make a difference in the world, to leave behind wealth and generational wealth for my family. I want to be able to serve humanity, and I want to be able to donate, and I want to be able to give back to my community and to the world at large. So that's essentially the law of why. Once you define that why, that's really the secret of starting that manifestation process journey off, right? Because now you know what you want. Now you're extremely specific, and it's not just coming from an ego space. Now you're using your mind, you're using your heart. So everything has to be in alignment, right? It just can't come from the mind space. It has to come from the heart space as well. You have to be in complete alignment to achieve your desires. Now let's talk about the law of assumption. Neville Goddard used to talk about this all the time. time. The law of assumption states that you are already living in your desired reality. And that has to be your mentality, that I am already living in my desired reality right now. I've achieved all those goals that I wanted. I've gotten that $20 million, that $1 billion. I have that house on the beach. I have the love of my life. I'm able to donate money to people. I'm able to live a life of service. Be in that mind state. How does that feel? Now, Neville Goddard states that right before you sleep, right between that moment when you're falling asleep and you're about to sleep, that's when your body and your mind is the most relaxed. And that's the perfect time to use the law of assumption. Go to sleep right before you go to sleep. Say, I have achieved all of my desires. I have everything that I've ever wanted. I have everything that I've ever needed. And it's now in my reality. And just let all the other thoughts go, because listen, thoughts will come in. Negative thoughts are one of those things that will always try to intrude when you're trying to think positive. And the more you resist, the more it will persist, okay? So when those negative thoughts come in, like that uninvited guest that showed up in boxers to a suit and tie event, you gotta just let him in and say, hey, dude, I've known you for 20 years. Thanks for coming, but I'm gonna acknowledge you came, but you gotta go, man. You know, you're just not in the right space. And maybe you'll come back and, we'll talk another time. But you have to let those negative thoughts in and then let them out easily as well. And that's not easy to do, but with more practice, you'll learn how to let that go. You'll learn how to let those feelings come in, and then just like that, you'll learn how to let those emotions go and those thoughts go that aren't serving you anymore. So getting back to the law of assumption, you have to be in that space of complete knowing, unwavering faith, not hoping, knowing that your desired reality already exists in your current reality. So right before you sleep, say that to yourself. I have everything I need. I have everything I want. And I'm completely happy and satisfied with everything that I currently have. And I am blessed. Now let's get to the law of something called, what I've actually made up, I think. I haven't trademarked it yet, but let's see if somebody else out there has already done it. Comment below, hey, we've heard of this one. But I think it's the law of awareness. Right? The law of awareness is realizing that, hey, you know what? I'm doing everything right. I am deserving of wealth. I am deserving of a romantic partner. I'm deserving of abundance in all its form. And most of all, I'm deserving of happiness. Now say that out loud to the universe. Say I am deserving of romantic love. Say I'm deserving of meaningful friends. Say I'm deserving of abundance and wealth so I can take care of the loved ones around me, my family, leave a legacy, and live a life of service. Say that out loud, because the universe needs to know that you feel that you deserve these things. And you do deserve these things because you clicked on this video. I do not believe in coincidences. I believe in synchronicities. So you clicked on this video because now is your right time. This is the time for you to make your manifestations come into your actual reality. Now, another thing I'm going to talk about is the law of vibration. Your vibration has to match with your desired outcome, right? So if you're in a low vibrational state of fear and feeling unstable and feeling, angry or saying, why are my manifestations not happening? Or feeling frustrated, it's going to delay the process. What you want to do is you want to be in a state of just knowing that things are going to be okay and trusting the universe or God or source or spirit or angels that everything is coming to me or has already been coming to me. Because you're manifesting constantly. It's not just a process. The process and the steps are actually vital. However, you're manifesting constantly with your thoughts, your emotions, and most of all, your feelings. Now, Wayne Dyer used to say something that was extremely important, and it was really pivotal in changing my mindset. He said, point to yourself. So I said, okay. I wasn't there. I was reading an audiobook. I was listening to an audiobook. He said, point to yourself. And I went like this. Notice I didn't go like this, because who you really are is right here, your heart, your soul. So what you feel is the most important thing of manifestation and bringing about your manifestations. And you have to really believe that you are deserving of it, that this is your birthright. Remember when we were kids and we used to play and life was just play? Let's do that as adults. Whether you're 25, 35, 45, 55, 75, 85, it doesn't matter what your age is. You got to get that sense of joy back, that sense of wonder, that sense of bewilderment. Like what's out there in the world, I'm not don't take certain things seriously, but don't take things too seriously. Life is about having fun. Life is about having joy. And don't be so hard on yourself if your manifestations haven't happened yet, because the universe isn't going to give you your manifestations until they think you're absolutely 100% ready for that manifestation to come into your reality. Let me repeat that. The universe is not going to give you your manifestations until the universe knows that you are completely ready to receive those manifestations, those blessings. Because timing is everything, right? And divine timing is even stronger and even deeper. So let me just do this from a scientific perspective as well, because we're talking about esoteric and exoteric. Esoteric being the metaphysical, exoteric being the more practical and scientific method in regards to manifestation. All right. So we'll talk about one thing that's extremely important. Okay. I'm gonna talk about this from a scientific perspective as well. Now, if I implant a certain thought, and I'm going to do this in real time into your brain right now. Let's see how many times you hear this or you experience this in the next week. I'm going to start with this: money, love, peace of mind, joy, happiness. I just activated something in your brain right now where your subconscious picked up on these positive words. And now what your conscious mind is going to do is essentially take actions to make your manifestations into actualization. Okay. Now people say money is the root of all evil and money doesn't grow on trees. We've been programmed like that since we were 5, 6, 7 years old. Take that out of your brain. We all want money because it's a natural part of being a human being able to provide for ourselves, being able to provide for our loved ones, being able to be of service to the world, and ultimately being the best versions of ourselves. And not from a place of greed, but a place of giving, right? Deprogram your brain about money. Money is just energy. Say things like, money comes easy to me. Money is all around me. It's like lemons grow on trees, so does money. I've got a money tree right there, all right? It's full of $1,000 bills. That's how I look at it. Now, that's the mind shift perspective that you have to take, and it takes some time. So whatever you're doing, and if your manifestations aren't coming into reality yet, it might not just be the right time where the universe says, you know what, let's wait a little bit until this person is completely ready and completely aligned with their desires. They know what they want, they know who they are, and now they're using practical scientific methods as well as esoteric methods. So use the entire gamut. Use everything that's available to you in order for your manifestations to come into reality. I'll talk about another law, the law of reciprocity. What you give out comes back to you tenfold. So in this context, I'm actually using service as an example, right? The more you serve others, the more you'll bring in. The more you give out is the more that you will receive. So if you can do it, and like I said before, service is not all about money. Service is about your time, your energy, making phone calls to people that need your time, that need your love, that need your energy for that moment, making a joke to somebody, everything. It's service, right? Smiling at somebody and genuinely smiling at somebody, that's an act of service. The more positive vibrational energy you emit, and the higher your frequency, the faster your manifestations will come. And the thing is that the more you practice this and stop blaming yourself that, hey, it's something I'm doing and I've tried everything, Kareem, and it's just not happening. It's not what you're doing. There's internal forces and there's external forces. There's things that are in your control and there are things that are absolutely not in your control. So you're co-creating your reality. You're co-creating exactly what you want because not everything is in your control, but what you can control is your mind, your body, and your spirit. Keep your mind vibrational high. Keep your heart frequency in a frequency of love and keep your spirit in a high frequency and a high vibration as well. Now you're in congruence. Now you're in alignment. And now that you clicked on this video, guess what? It might be your time to receive your manifestations. Your manifestations are right around the corner, whether it's love, romantic love, money, friendships, peace of mind, good health. It's so important. Without health, nothing else really matters because health is the most important thing you could have. Right? Let's say you have $1 billion, but you're not healthy. Then what's the point of that $1 billion, you know? So take care of your physical vessel, take care of your internal vessel, which is your mind, your spirit, how you treat yourself, how you talk to yourself, how you talk to other people. So your frequency is at a high level and take all of the judgment away from yourself and other people because the universe is there to serve you. It wants to help you. It wants to help you at the time you're ready. If the universe had given me a platform 10 years ago to talk about service and everything else, I would have probably talked about which club is the best and which, which bar is the best bar to go to. And there's nothing wrong with that if you're talking about that, because that's your niche, you know? That's what's important to you. And at this point in my journey, what's important being of service to others. So manifestation is absolutely real. You have to combine them all and be in congruence. So the law of attraction, the law of assumption, the law of vibration, the law of reciprocity, the law of self-awareness, and the law of why. Define your why and you will fly. All right? I think that's all I got for today. I hope this resonated in some way. My superstars, my star seeds, my healers, thank you so much for joining me. I truly appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Love and blessings.